Hello iChurchers and welcome back to another tutorial on editing your iChurch website. Today we're just going to be looking at navigating our way around what we call the back end of our website. This term was discussed in previous tutorials. It's essentially the part of the website that only we can see as administrators. What we're currently seeing on the screen is the front end of our website, but we can see that we're logged in because we've got this black bar across the top. Now, to have a look at some of the elements of the back end of our website, we simply can click either this iChurch dev site or this will be the title of your website here, or we can just click this dashboard button as well, and it will take us to essentially the home page of the back end of our website. Now, from here, we can navigate around various elements and aspects of our iChurch website, how to edit different bits. But the primary thing, and if you've been with iChurch before or you're used to WordPress in another form, the new way of using iChurch 6, uses what we call Divi, which gives us a lot of the customization and the breadth and depth of editing options in the pages themselves, even if it applies across the whole website. So what you might have previously done within the back end of the website, you can actually do on any page you like with Divi. But we're going to run through a couple of bits in the back end. First of all, we're going to look at pages. Now, this is our list of pages, and pages are the main bulk of our website. They form the things that we see, basically. And by clicking on pages, we can see a list, and we can sort our list by title, just like you would with any file storage. You can organize by title or in by author, date, etc. And as you can see on our website, we've got lots of different pages which essentially are there to help you explore the features and options of iChurch 6. But each of these pages, when we hover over them, as you can see, we have a few options available to us. We can throw our page in the bin. So if you need to get rid of a page, you can do that. And if you're not using a page, then we recommend you do that. It helps to keep it nice and tidy. We can also click the Edit with Divi button. This will take us to editing our page itself. We can also click on the page title and that will do the same thing. And then we've also got the Quick Edit button. Now, Quick Edit lets us edit some of the big sort of overall features of our pages. So the page title, for example. And then it also shows us how we can edit what's called the slug. Now, the slug sounds like a bit of a strange piece of terminology for a website, but it is, as the name implies, it's a trail. So it's the trail that our page leaves after our web address. So, for example, for this page, if we wanted to give someone a website address to this page, then that website address will simply be our own website address, which in this case is ichurch6.org.uk, and then /children-youth. And that is what the slug is. It's the bit after our web address. Now, if our page title is quite long, then our slug, as you can see, it defaults to word-word, because you can't have spaces in a web address. That's just not how it works. So what we can do if we wanted to is we could customize our slug. So in the case of, let's say, the I'm new page, I might wish to customize that to just new, so that I can say to people in person or on a flyer or somewhere like that, a nice and easy web address to remember. All you need to do, folks, visit ichurch6.org.uk/new. You can see how easy that is to go about. So we can edit the slug to make it different from what it defaults to, which is just the first word dash second word. Obviously, you may have more than 2 words. So that is the slug. We can also change a few other aspects of our pages here. So we can make a page password protected. If you have some files that you don't wish to share with other people and you just need to keep them to a certain group, for example, then you can password protect a page. Just bear in mind that there are many other ways of sharing information, such as email, of course, Dropbox, Google Drive, sharing files. We wouldn't necessarily recommend that your website is the best place to share files, but you can do if you would like. You can also make a page private, so that only makes it available to administrators and editors of your website. On the right hand side of our quick edit box, we have a parent page or parent pages. And as you can see, in this case, the parent page for this children and youth page is Church Life. Now, what is a parent page, I hear you ask? Well, we have parent and child pages on our website, and even grandparent and grandchild pages. Basically, it all affects the slug. That's pretty much all it does. Some people might get a bit confused because you might think it's to do with the menu, sort of a parent level and a child level. We may use that terminology, but actually, in this specific circumstance, the parent page just affects the slug. So what that means is that our web address for this page will actually be iChurch6.org.uk/churchlife/children-youth. In this case, I will say and I will suggest that this is probably not the best way of going about things. Parent pages, it is up to you. It's up to you if you wish to use parent pages and child pages, but you really don't have to, and it doesn't affect your menu. That's the key thing to remember. Your menu is completely customizable and is separate from parent and child pages. However, if you are going to use parent and child pages, then I would suggest that they follow the same structure as your menu. So that's parent pages. Don't worry about order. That's just how you can display it on here if you wish on these pages. But it's a bit of a pain and is not very useful in our opinion. But the main thing, the last thing to look at in our pages is the status. Now, the main two you want to look at really are published or draft. And pending review is pretty much the same as draft as well. But if we want to, any page we create to start with will be a draft to begin with. So that's as it is, but then we can publish that page. If we want to take that publishing back, and if we want to bring our page back offline for maybe it's got loads of incorrect information, or we just haven't finished it yet, or we want to kind of send it around a few people, have a look at this draft page, bearing in mind they'll have to be logged in to see that draft page, but if they're an editor, then that makes sense. We can say, have a look at this draft page, and then we'll publish that page. So that's what the draft status is for. As with all aspects of our website, when we're editing something, if we want to make a change to our website, to our page, then we need to click this update button or the save button, wherever it might be. So just ensure you're doing that if you want to make a change. We do have bulk actions available as well, so we can apply a bulk action, in this case just move to bin or edit, but we can select as many pages as we like to be able to get rid of them or to edit them. You can also filter your pages at the top here by the pages that are drafts and the pages that are published. We also have screen options at the top here, which helps us just to display some other options, and we recommend having a play around. So here we can see these are, rather than hovering over, we can actually see the buttons we were able to press. But yeah, like with all aspects of our websites, do just have a play around. There's very little you can do to make it break. We do also have a search button at the top, and then as you can see, because we've got 27 pages, then we do have a second page. So if you're struggling to work out where your page is, then it could be on the second page. Make sure you have a look there. So moving on to posts. Posts are basically your news. Most websites, most iChurch websites will be set up such that we have what we call static information, our pages, which is just kind of fixed data, fixed information. Say the time that your Boys Brigade groups meets on a Monday. But then our post is basically our latest news. That's our dynamic information that's going to change on a week by week basis. And most websites we will set up such that you have a news page. But we can also cleverly manipulate the post such that they can go into other pages as well. So, for example, if you want to create some news about children's and youth, we can set it up such that it will send the children's and youth posts onto that page as well. So you'll have the information about the groups, and then, oh look, here's the latest news as well. But you can see the layout of our posts is exactly the same as the layout for our pages, so you can edit them in the same sort of way. We will have a whole tutorial on posts and how to create them in a very short while. That's one of the next tutorials. So do have a look at that when the time comes. But as you can see, as an overview, it looks exactly the same. But if you're using the posts terminology, then make sure you know the difference between posts and pages. The final thing we're going to look at in this tutorial is the appearance button. Now, as I say, if you have had an iChurch website with us before, or you've used WordPress before, you'll probably be quite familiar with this appearance section. But the joys of Divi is that we don't need to use this appearance section very much. We can have a look at the menu structure, but again, there will be a whole tutorial on the menu on how to use menus in another tutorial. But the only other button really that you need to concern yourselves with here is the Customize button. And what that does is it helps us to look at customizing the overall aspects of our website. As I say, Divi gives us lots of control on this, so there are lots of these buttons and these features in this Customize section. These are WordPress, whereas we're using Divi. And it's just basically the same thing, but a lot of the things on our WordPress website that we might want to change, such as color schemes and some of these general settings, we actually want to look at the Divi settings for that. And again, there is a tutorial on that. But here are some things we can change. The site identity, so that's the site title, a tagline if you want it, so that's kind of the bit that comes second. So at the top here, on our page, we've got iChurch dev site, and then it's got a vertical line next to it. The bit that comes after that vertical line would be our tagline. We can also change the icon, so that's the icon that will appear when we're not in this editing mode. So it will appear like, in this case, the URC cross and fish. We don't need to worry about any of these other aspects here because, as I say, these are editable in the Divi settings. But then the only other thing to show you really is the accessibility. So the accessibility we use, the tool is called one-click accessibility, and you can see it on the right-hand side of the page here. And what the tools that it opens are, as you can see, loads of different tools available for people with accessibility needs to help to be able to view your website in the best way possible. And we can change basically just some of the features of this, where it's positioned, what colours it uses for the icon and things like that. So that's where that is if you need to change that. Most of the rest of this is all editable elsewhere, so we would recommend trying to steer away from using this customize section too much. But if you do have any things you need to customize or you need any help with this aspect of your website or indeed any other aspects of your website, then please don't hesitate to get in touch. support@ichurch.website. And just as we do with all the other parts of our website, once we've made a change, we need to click the publish button. So I'm going to click the publish button and then I'm going to escape from there. And it will land us back on the previous page we found ourselves. So that is kind of navigating our way around the back end of the website. So do have a play around, do have just a navigate around. Don't forget, you can always just go back to the dashboard, you can go back to the home page. And then if we want to go onto our website, we can click visit site at the top here, and that will take us to our website again. Once again, don't hesitate to get in touch if you've got any issues. Thank you.